for those who do not know what horror means.
Do not go gentle into that good night.
What up, everybody? TERZO, and we are back here with another video, and it's none other than the piece that we've been hyping up with that 829 little gif and pictures that we've been posting everywhere. I got my homie, I Am Toys, Chris Parmenan.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
Sub to his channel, link down in the description below. So we have none other than, I guess you could say, one of the beastliest figures that Once Custom's ever done. Probably one of his top concepts. This and Rob's Part 6, Part 7 concepts are just on another level. Yep. And yeah, this is a very, very important piece to Once Customs just because of the backstory. And we're going to get into that a little bit later. I'm going to get Once Customs on the horn and we're going to have him explain everything. But right here, this essentially is a badass Jason. That is the name of the concept. And it's an apocalyptic Jason in an apocalyptic time, fighting the zombies. You know, Once was telling me and Paul that this guy just, it's more of a really savage Jason. He teams
an anti-hero.
Right. He teams up with some humans, but it's not like a full team up. And just, this piece is just completely out of one's brain. It has multiple looks, multiple masks, a slew of weapons, completely sculpted diorama. Comes with an accessory that is a full figure. It's a zombie cut in half. As you guys can see, the zombie was just severed by Jason with his dull machetes, just by brute force alone. Paul laser cut out this Friday the 13th sign, and Once Customs painted it. It's just a fully sculpted piece. Just the clothing is on point. He's got the mother's head in the sack. It's just, it's insane.
There's nothing sourced besides those boots. That's it. Everything else is full custom.
So I think, Chris, we're just gonna start off, I think, with, let's do the sculpting, we'll do the clothing, we'll do presentation, we'll hit all the points. And then we'll talk about the backstory when Ones is there and what this piece really means to him. And I think let's start with that. Actually, let's start with the accessories. What do you think of the accessories?
Fantastic as usual. Like I always say, you know, Ones does grit and grime like fucking no one else. You've got a plethora of fucking weapons, which I don't know if some of these are coming up. I'm sure Dan's gonna fucking show you guys these things closer up, but you have an amalgamation of different fucking weapons here, man. This guy can basically, I mean, the posing fucking opportunities that Paul's gonna have with this, the flexibility is gonna be amazing. I mean, you've got this, you got the axe, everything's bloody.
Have like a really advanced like hobo butcher knife, like a Bowie knife, but really to the maximum. This is like Rambo.
Exactly.
It's like Rambo to 1,000th power.
Yeah, if Rambo was fucking a imitation Jason, that's what it would look like.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, everything's bloodied, everything's weathered. I mean, everything is done in typical Ones fashion, which is fantastic.
I mean, I gotta say, the knife alone is really impressing me because of the gore and the blood. The paint is on point. It's got the dark reds, the high reds. It's a fully sculpted piece, I believe. The axe, I don't know if, I think the handle's wood and the actual axe itself is sculpted.
Yeah, I don't think this is resin. I think
that's wood, and the tree brush is actually metal, I believe.
And there is actual, I think, twine. This is fucking twine. I think hand-wrapped twine around this.
And he also comes with an apocalypse pelt, which I'm assuming is either the skin or the fur of some animals or the skin of actual zombies that he's put together. I think this is really good. It's for an alternative look. What do you think of this? I think it's awesome. I like that it's stiff and rigid. It holds the pose.
Yeah,
I mean, it's got the fur. If you look right up close to it, man, that's pretty insane.
Fuck yeah, it does.
That's pretty insane.
Yeah, he's got it frayed on the side, you know, that makes it look like it's pretty aged. I mean, this shit could literally be off a fucking animal.
Right.
And like you picture Jason fucking surviving in the woods or whatever the fuck he's doing, slaughtering animals, maybe pulling off their skin like they would do in typical hunter-gatherer times.
Right.
And maybe stripping something like this and then turning it into something fashionable, making a fucking fashion statement.
Well, the other accessory that I missed is, what would you call this? It's like a machete, but it's more of an ovalist shape.
Yeah.
But it's different. It's not blood. It's got the actual, well, it's got blood, but it's like the zombie's blood. It looks,
I don't know if
like
this helps
rotted.
at all, but if you actually go back to some, oh my god, or some Australian horror movies,
it's like some
way back when,
Amazon shit.
Yeah, like these tribes would actually have knives like that, believe it or not. And Dan's obviously probably showing us some of this stuff.
Kukri knife is what it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk about the diorama real quick. So it's fully sculpted. It's got different levels to it. It's got the upper level that has the framing that holds the Camp Crystal Lake sign. Oh, actually, we forgot the hook accessory.
Oh, yeah.
Quick. But it's got the framing with the Camp Crystal Lake sign, real chains, real wood sign, real wood framing. Fully sculpted. All the rocks, from what he told Paul, he went just fully crazy on the rock sculpting. He put a little river, a little ravine with some resin.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a dried up lake running through, you know, like a little dried up river rather.
And then he's got the grass that is got some resin over it and all that. And
You've got some moss growing up on the rocks.
so it's got the full presentation. It's a full dial. You know, it takes up the entire detail, and it's got different levels of paint, grays, browns. You know, just different levels. It's impressive. I like when he does the full thing because he doesn't do too many dials now that he's got Paul. So it's kind of nice when he does and brings it back because his style is unique.
I haven't seen one do a dial like this in ever. I don't think.
Well,
last dial was that hobo concept. The Hobo Myers was the last.
Was it this big too, or no?
yeah, it was a full detail.
Yeah, shit.
Yep.
I mean, and he did one for Rob's Part 6, Part 7, which I love that dial because it was fully sculpted leaders.
Yep.
I think that's my favorite dial he's ever done actually on the figure. And then we did get to the Severed Zombie, which I don't know if you told me it's supposed to go back together at some point.
Yes, it does reassemble, but we're gonna have to ask one how to do it. Just yeah.
All right, no instruction manual came with this shit. So, but the Severed Zombie is really cool. I love the head sculpt on it.
Custom head, yeah.
I think the head sculpt alone just is really cool. It reminds me of Henrietta from The Conjuring in a way. It's really sick, dude. But he painted the whole body. You could tell. Was the clothing custom on this thing?
Everything is custom besides, like I said, the boots on the Jason. Everything is complete, 100% custom. There's nothing outsourced.
All right, and he has some entrails. His intestines are sticking out, and then his spine is sticking out as well, which I do like that.
Yep.
You know, I like the color reds, the darks, and all that. So I like just the displayability of it. And then obviously you have his severed legs over there, his torso. I mean, what do you think of that, Chris?
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, the fact that it can actually reattach and become a second separate figure is pretty fucking cool to have that option. Again, flexibility, having options is nice. And everything is just bloodied, you know, to the degree that it should for a fucking zombie.
Right.
It just looks good. I mean, it really does. You know, one never ceases to amaze, you know, to an extent that is sometimes even better than his previous concepts.
Right. And moving up to the piece, let's start at the bottom. We got the boots that are outsourced, but they're heavily weathered. He also has that steel toe showing, which I really enjoy. I always like that. It gives me like some hobo vibes.
There's a little scuff to it.
Yeah, and it's completely weathered. It's got some different texture on it. It looks like he textured it as well on top of it. The paint is actually pretty shiny from what it looks like.
It's got mud, dirt, everything.
Yeah, it's got everything that you want under the sun.
Looks like the guy's been in the fucking woods like he should, right?
Yep. And then obviously as you go up the leg, you see the custom pants. They're tailored. They're nice and baggy. They drape well. They got the fully sculpted leg. And it's just, you see all the grime and just the gruesomeness of it, and then you got the leg brace, which I think is the most impressive part, is I like this functional leg brace. It's like so mechanically correct. It's crazy.
So obviously Jason in this iteration has some kind of intelligence, you know, to some degree, because he knew how to either find a leg brace and how to operate it, or knew what the fuck it was for,
right,
or even fashioned it himself and attached it to his fucking knee, because he's obviously fucked up in some way or injured. And again, we don't know that. I don't even know the backstory to this piece yet. That's going to be explained a little bit later. But there's a piece, and this is segueing a little bit. But Ben Collector Maniac, I believe. I have no idea what Ben's actual fucking real name is. Do you?
It's Ben.
It is Ben.
Yeah.
Wait, Ben or?
No, it's Ben. I don't know, Collector Maniac. It's Ben Collector Maniac. That's what it is. That's what he's known by.
Well, Ben, if you're watching this fucking video, man, like I picture, and again, this probably does not tie into the backstory, but the interesting thing when I first saw this piece, like Ben has a kind of teenager version of
Right.
Jason with the little knapsack or some shit. And it was really good. It's one of the best concepts that I've seen by one as well. And I always picture this as like a continuation of that story, you know, essentially. Like he's older now and has become whatever he has become. But again, I don't know if that's actually part of the backstory. I'm sure it's not. But when I saw this piece, that was some of the vibes that I got anyway.
Right. And as you move up the figure, you have obviously, I'm going to actually go by the arms. You have completely all his ligaments are showing, all his tendons, and it kind of looks like a fresh Jason. Like he's not fully rotted, like his head is like sun-dried and all that, but like his arm has that flesh look to it.
Yeah.
Which I like, as well as the hands.
It's like mid-transition.
Yeah, it's interesting how it goes from like really dark reds to the blacks, and then you see the rotted flesh in the back over here. I do enjoy that a lot.
Yep.
I like the machetes are done well, full metal. You can just tell the hands are showing their bones. It's really high detail.
And Rob's favorite term, exposure points. It's got multiple exposure points all over the place. The back, the spine, the back of the legs.
That's right.
Exposure.
So, I mean, then you get up, you can see his intestines are pretty much hanging by a thread.
Yeah.
Which is really cool from his abdomen. And then you just come up and you just see his just chest piece is really impressive.
I mean, come on, man. We got the fucking Crystal Lake sign too. Which
You
I
just
fucking detached.
broke it. What a fucking... Stop!
It's obviously not broken, but it does hook back on to the.
You broke it!
And we're gonna hold the video as we do this.
One even put like proper latches on the back of the sign and shit. If you look at the sign in detail, there's like little latches and button, all that shit on there, man.
So bear with us. This is going to be a project for Dan here.
Chris, why do you always fuck everything?
That's all right, man. Just let it hang. That's it. Just let it hang.
In the meantime,
That's what she said.
We'll play with this.
Actually, it kind of gives a better look. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, yeah, it does look nice. Yeah, it does look nice.
So,
Have we got off track enough for you guys?
what I like about this figure is has the mother's head inside the sack, and the sack is weathered nice. And I like the sculpting of the mother's head. It's kind of hard to see because it's obviously in there, but you just see just enough of Pamela.
Yeah.
That
It's
beautiful
sick, man.
bitch.
It's sick.
So, I mean, just the ribs, the posture, the beefiness of this. This seems like a Jason that went to the gym.
Yeah.
Like, this is legit, like, yeah, this dude's on roids. He's on roids. I want him tested. That's how you survive the apocalypse, apparently.
This is a C.J. Graham, Kane Hodder combined kind of body type, if they had a love child, maybe.
And I love the half mask, like the Hannibal mask.
Yeah.
And I love the full mask that it comes with. And
Yep.
I love the head sculpt alone. It's got the hair, it's got the sun-dried everything.
Yep, there's multiple kind of things going on with this. You've got the Hannibal kind of look, and then you've got the mask there. We even have, like we said, this hook that we didn't even cover, so we got some Candyman fucking vibes going on, which we actually just came from. Good movie. Check it out.
So, but like you said, yeah, we just came back from Candyman. That was a really, really good movie. And,
Yeah, man.
It's a lot to digest, so watch it a few times.
Oh, yeah.
Don't just write it off.
Consider that a plug.
Yeah. So, but I just love once you remove the head sculpt, he's got like these dead doll eyes, you know, kind of like a white shark, you know. It's, I don't know, man. It's an imposing piece. He's got a sculpted spine in the back as well, which I really enjoy.
Yep, the exposure.
I wish it was a little bit more exposed, though. I do gotta say that.
Yeah, I would like on the back if it was a more down the line you saw the actual spine.
I think it's a
that would be
sin
nice.
not to show off some of these things.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that would have been a nice touch.
But presentation-wise, you know, absolutely amazing. So let's go diorama out of 10.
Oh fuck yeah, man! I would give this in the scope of Dio's
one's customs realm.
ones that I have seen compared to, because now the one that you were talking about that Dan has, or that Rob has, I know what you're talking about.
Yep.
So I can kind of compare now in my
Even
mind.
Ben's is good. But
Yeah, I would say this is a fucking 9.5, 10,
Right.
dude. I mean,
I go with the 9. I go with the 9 as well.
It's really good.
The zombie, or should I just say as an accessory pack alone, 10.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's got to be the 10.
Oh yeah, as an
Like,
overall package, it's
Yeah,
10. Absolutely.
with the accessories, absolutely. Let's go with clothing. Clothing, I gave it a 9. I think that it's on point. It drapes well. It's all that. You know, I wish it had a little bit more tattering at the bottom.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know, this fucking.
I would
sick,
agree with
man.
that too. The 9 I think is the same. I think what would bump it up to a 10 is we had the exposure from the top here all the way down, so you can see that spine, his fucking literally the spinal cord, not the cord itself, but obviously the fucking spine, the vertebrae going down. That would have been cool.
Now, sculpting alone, I think I got to give it a 10.
Oh fuck yeah! I mean,
This is really fucking excellent. You know, the sculpting alone, I think, is a 10. The paint, I got to give it a 10.
Yeah, this is
it's on the same level as Rob's per 6%. Like,
Yeah.
And some of the other concepts, you know, if concept is your bag, then
To my eye, I think it's actually a little better, but
Well, there you go.
That's just my idea.
If concepts are what turns you on, like this is it. You know what I'm saying? There's very few of these levels. I know maybe five that are on this kind of level.
Yeah, how many people do you know that go outside the box like Ones does?
Yeah. Right.
Nobody.
So that usually with concepts you want to let Ones do whatever he wants, and when he says it's ready to sell, that's the one you want to buy. The one that he's been working on for years. This has been like a 9-month to a year project.
It's actually been more than that. Yeah, it's actually been more than that. He's been working on and off. Yeah.
Okay. Dude, but just complete package. I gotta give it a 10.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree.
There's no COA with this thing, right? That is the COA. All right, so let's do this. This is why it's a very important figure. We gotta get Ones Customs on the phone, and the reason why this piece is very historical plus very close to Ones is because a comic book. This is based off of a comic book series that he wants to make.
A graphic novel.
A graphic novel. And as you guys can see, it's called Badass Jason, but he made the 13 to look kind of like a B. It's kind of like a cool little thing, so the 13 is
That's just like a quick model.
It's a quick one, yeah. So it's Ones Customs presents the Disturbing His Lane comes with the price. It's signed and autographed by Ones. It's badass. Jason Voorhees. It's from the story alone, which I'm sure Ones is going to tell you guys right now when we get him on the horn, is really impressive. So he's gonna be doing. You said a couple of these.
Each one is going to be different. Each
it's a stage of a story.
Yeah,
it's a different stage of the story.
Yes, it's a progressing story, and each figure is going to be very different, but it's going to be based off of this figure right here. This is going to be the base, and it's just going to be multiplied. And he also told me a lot of goodie, for other little tidbits that I'll let him describe. But just to touch on some things, before we get one on the phone here is like this. This is the type of piece that I said to Dan, Rob, and Chris here that I was just very surprised that one was even willing to part with it just because it's so important, and so will the future ones. And unfortunately, guys, these pieces are going to be held very close to one, so they won't really be offered to the public if one even fucking decides to go with that many more. I think he's only going to do maybe 4 more, maybe 5. I don't know. We have to get him on the phone, but this right here is why we collect. It's just straight art. It's straight art.
Right. I would love to see this in a museum. I think that kind of has that statue to be kind of behind something like that.
No, that's exactly it.
Man, this is definitely something to cherish and be proud to have. And
it's
not cheap either.
Yeah,
so
no, it's not cheap.
It's not cheap.
It's 1/6 history and Ones Customs brand history.
Yeah, this is a time-consuming piece. Absolutely. When you see everything as a whole that was involved put into it, it took him a while to put this together.
Right. All right, so we got Ones Customs on the phone here, so let him do his wonderful introduction he always does. It's...
What's good? It's your boy One coming at you once again.
There it is. What's going on, man?
Hey, how you doing?
It's like we haven't talked in about 5 minutes.
It's been a while, motherfucker. It's been a while.
So, how's life been since the last conversation? Not good. Well, as I got here is this amazing concept, man. All right. I know Chris has got a few questions for you, so I'm going to let him take reign on this, but then I got a few ones for you as well. So, Chris, go for it.
Can you hear me okay, One?
Yeah, I hear you just fine.
Yeah, so I was just telling them, I was like, this is probably has nothing to do with the backstory of this figure, but it'll be a perfect kind of setup for you to go into and then tell everybody about kind of how the history of this figure kind of came and the story behind it. But one of the first things I thought about when I first saw this figure was that young teenager Jason that you did for Ben. Yeah, with the little stick and I think you had it posed like he had it like over his shoulder or something like that. So like immediately, like sometimes when you do figures, there's like a kind of I make up almost like this story in my head as I see these concepts coming out. And when I saw this piece, it kind of reminded me of that and felt like the story had progressed more. Basically like this. That was almost like the kind of same Jason, and he's older now. To an extent. But obviously, I'm sure that's probably not connected at all. But I just wanted to kind of set you up, with that there, and then you kind of go into it, man.
Well, you're right. He's definitely older. Basically, a story popped in my head. It's really Friday the 13th meets Walking Dead, and Jason Voorhees might be the savior of mankind, right? Now, this is something a little different.
He's an environmentalist. He's an environmentalist.
right. You know, but, hey, so he inadvertently might save some humans, but he's not trying to. But there's a lot of surprises as the story progresses. You know, a lot of the Friday the 13th lore will be threaded throughout the story, and of course I'll introduce new ideas and characters as well, and there'll be different alternate like looks, designs for Jason going forward. It's fan fiction, but I hope to do a series of graphic novels. You know, just something for the Friday fans that they haven't seen before.
Are the graphic novels going to be available to the general public? Not the proto, but the actual just novel alone?
Yeah, maybe we can figure out something if there's some interest and people want to see more of these things. I'd like to do, you know, some other stuff down the road, but it's definitely an idea that just popped in my head and just I wanted to see it come to life. So a figure is the best way to do that for now.
All right, so I know that this figure has a lot of an amalgamation of all the Jasons put into one, just in the head sculpt alone. Do you want to clarify what those are?
Well, there's definitely some Part 7 influence in there, Part 8, especially with as far as the Part 7, the progression of the holes through the face, you know, revealing a lot of the side of the teeth of the jaw. Some Part 8 in there as well, and just, you know, of course, a lot of the wounds he's taken over the years. And I also wanted to, believe it or not, incorporate some more human. And even though it's a decayed face, if you look at it, as mean as he looks, there's some sympathy. You can see like some sympathy, like sympathetic kind of look in his eyes, because he is sort of human. You know, but again, he's not a good guy. I want to reiterate that he doesn't care. He's gonna kill you, but somehow he becomes an anti-hero, which is hence the name Badass Jason Voorhees. You know,
Right.
He's a badass.
So I know that your daughter's involved in this, so I think that must be something that just really just speaks close to your heart, that finally can bring in your kids in some sort of way and just really make it special for you.
Yeah, she's a talented artist. You know, she knows how to just man, her ideas are amazing. She knows how to draw. Her color work is amazing. And so I just asked her one day, so she's going to definitely help me with the artwork, because there's going to be a lot of it.
Is this your oldest, right?
My oldest, yes.
Yes.
She's going to be 18 this year.
Oh, congrats. I mean, it's such a, I mean, I'm a father, and Chris is a father, Rob's a father, so we all know, like, something like that is very special, and it's something that not everybody gets to really feel, but it's an awesome accomplishment that you can relate through the art form, through the love of everything. So that alone makes this piece kind of really just emotionally beautiful, I guess you could say, you know?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm proud of her, man. She's quite an artist, and she's just getting better and better every day.
Now, me and Chris were talking, obviously, and we were mentioning that, like, his head looks very more sun-dried and zombied, but the flesh on his arms is more new flesh, like rotting away. You can see his tendons and stuff. I always thought that was a really interesting thing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's taking some damage, and, you know, as stated in Jason X, he regenerates. So what it is it's a slow regeneration, but so he kind of reverses. He takes a lot of damage. Some areas take more damage than others. Some may take, some areas of his body might take longer to heal. You know, especially
fucked up Wolverine.
You know, so that's why you're also throughout the series, the figures or the novels, whatever, you're gonna see different looks. You know, because he's constantly changing.
All right. What do you got, Chris?
As far as some of the uniqueness of this guy, would you say that, you know, like you said, he's kind of the anti-hero, but obviously, you know, stressing the fact that he is essentially still Jason, he's still brutal, he's still a force of nature, basically. Yeah. Would you say that to an extent, you know, there's an integration of where there's a piece of humanity kind of deep in there still, and that's why he has kind of that sympathy still, like the way you were describing?
Well, yeah, I mean, definitely. Jason, as much as he's this Terminator-like character, he's a hurt child on the inside, you know? He lost his mother, and he's just a brutal force now, but there's still that little bit of humanity inside. Now, you're not going to see too much of that until later on, because, again, I have this story
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I also want him to not be, okay, we have the zombies. This world is inhabited with zombies in this story, and there are humans too, but I still want him to not be the kind of guy that is just impossible to destroy. You know, there's got to be stakes that Jason's never faced anything like other, you know, beings that can't die. So you got to know that he can lose as much as he's invincible. So that's where the humanity also comes from, because he's not completely invincible, but he's cutting zombies in half. You know what I mean? He's dicing and slicing, of course.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that you're adding, you know, some new elements to it, because the franchise itself, you know, obviously, you know, got away from that, you know, over the years. And like one of the greatest things about the Friday the 13th franchise that brought me onto it was the psychological impact of kind of identifying with Jason when I was a kid. Like a lot of us probably had to an extent, because he was obviously bullied, you know, to some extent, not paid attention to, was different, got made fun of. I know I was bullied as a kid pretty tremendously and consistently all the way to high school as well. So those are like little characteristics of the psychology that, you know, it's interesting we may see kind of get pulled out a little bit maybe as these figures progress along.
Yes, man, definitely. I'm going to have fun. And again, like I said, I'm going to incorporate a lot of what we've seen from Jason. I don't want to take him too far out of his element and alienate those who are fans of him, but we do have to evolve his character, you know?
Exactly.
And take him into the next century.
Yeah, man, gotta keep it fresh.
Yeah, so what will be the next stage of Jason, you think? The follow-up to this?
Well, I don't want to get too much into it. I will explain a little bit of what happens, though, towards the end is, you know, he's going to war with invading zombies, but also there are humans involved, which is why the zombies come in the first place, you know, and these are some tactical folks. So down the road, you might see Jason mixed with some tactical parts. He's not going to be like some super soldier, but, you know, he sees something he likes, he's going to wear it, you know?
Right. No, I feel you on that. Maybe we'll see Jason wielding a machine gun one time.
Fucking AK-47, man, that's it.
I don't know about that, but we'll definitely might see some different masks, different things like that.
I like this Hannibal mask, man. That's very unique. I like it.
Yeah, that's the first thing that came to mind, is the kind of the Hannibal Lecter look. That was neat.
Yeah, I originally didn't want to go with that, but you know, because I know people want to see the traditional look, which is why the ultimate hockey mask, you have to have a full hockey mask no matter what. But I also, you know, with like the new blood, I don't like to hide that beautiful face. Sometimes you got to be able to see some of it. I think the expression comes through with the hockey mask now a little bit. So I was very happy.
Dude, in my opinion, that is the best head sculpt that you have ever fucking done, hands down.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
I really had fun, man. I put a lot of heart into this.
How long were you working on this thing, man?
Oh, man. I've had the body done in the head for a long while, man. I don't know. I won't say last year sometime, but I just sat on it for a little while, as I tend to do, to think about it, progress the story in my head to help, you know, incorporate that to the figure.
Hey, listen, it sounds like you got a lot of unfinished projects. Like, if you want to just ship them to me, that'd be great, because they look awesome.
There are a lot of things finishing up, I won't lie.
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine the workshop. It must be a gold mine. It must be like, if me or anybody in this room were there, we'd be like, oh shit, look at that. Oh wait, look at that. Oh wait, look at that.
It's a damn mess, but yeah.
Dude, it's a beautiful mess.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm just very surprised that you can still innovate your way of doing things. Not necessarily the sculpting, maybe not like the newer that thing that you innovated, but the fact that you put this story together is just another thing that adds to the release, which is not many people do.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, dude. I want to see visions through. It's hard to do that when you're doing things that, you know, like other people wrote, but when you're able to at least write your own stuff, you can go further as far as you want.
Yeah, creative freedom.
And I gotta say, dude, I think my favorite part of this figure is the Pam's head in the sack. You can just see her just enough, but it's just, you can tell the sculpt is so good. I want to take that bitch out so bad. I want to see that fucking sculpt.
Yeah, it can come out, but
Paul's not letting me touch this figure.
No, hell no. Hell no.
Actually, the Pam head does play a part in the story. You see, Jason doesn't talk, but Pamela head does talk. It's almost a self-conscious. It's my way of communicating to the audience through Jason. So you're pretty much hearing Jason's thoughts through Pamela's head. So you're gonna see
Kind of like Dexter.
and it talks to him. It gives him the information that we need to hear. So that's how we can get into his psyche even more without him having to talk a great character, right?
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
Brilliant, man. Brilliant.
We gotta talk about the Dio, fully sculpted Dio.
My wife actually came up with that idea.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So, we're a family unit here, baby,
You know, something like that's very awesome. Not many people can say that. Where everybody bonds over the same thing under one family.
Yeah.
I gotta say, like, the diorama is impressive as hell. So is the zombie. Great job, man.
I appreciate that, man. I had a lot of fun.
Just a lot of good details. And do you think you can top this concept, man? Is it toppable? That's a hard question, ain't it? And I'm not. You're gonna answer it. You're not leaving until you do.
With a lot of time and love, I think it is. Everything
As
is.
long as I'm alive and I got passion in my heart, bro, I can top anything.
Yeah.
Nice.
I can't wait for my concept, man.
One, let's talk about this motherfucking. Let's talk about this motherfucking leg brace, man. Let's talk about that leg brace.
Oh yeah, man. Of course, that's scratch built. I wanted it on the other side originally, but I wanted to bounce the figure out, and so I didn't want to have too much on one side, so I ended up putting it on the other leg, and of course it's functional. That leg, if you were able to see what was underneath the pants, and you would see that leg is super torn up. The whole body is sculpted underneath.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I have naked photos of them.
Yeah, we're gonna put those pictures in there for people to see that shit for you.
Yeah. So, I had a lot of fun. I kind of tried to find pictures of a leg brace that I liked, and I pretty much had to create that from scratch, that little design. And it worked out. I was very happy with it.
Yeah, you're inadvertently kind of giving more character to it as well, because obviously Dan and I were talking about this. If he's got a knee brace on, there's some kind of intelligence there. Where he obviously put it on, he knew what it was for, or he fashioned it himself somehow, for some reasoning. So you're getting all these little neat kind of extras and kind of tidbits in there with what you see in the figure overall.
Yeah, he's a survivalist, man. He has a lot of instincts, and if he comes across certain people, in his time, and he's gonna find a use for it,
Yeah, man.
And you kind of see that, in a lot of even with the remake. I'm gonna incorporate remake stuff. That everything I can think of is gonna be a part of the story, and you're gonna recognize.
Nice.
Right. Well, man, I think we covered it all. We're running short on time here, but amazing concept, amazing story, definitely 1/6 history. You should be proud, and your daughter should be proud as well.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Congrats all around.
Congrats, and it's very happy to be able. Yeah.
I really appreciate all of you.
Thank you.
Giving us stuff, and Paul, giving us, the look and appreciating our stuff. I really, that means a lot.
Hey, 100, dude. Other than everybody in this damn room, I can only think of maybe fucking Ben Collector. Fucking shout out to Ben Collector Maniac, man. That fucks with your shit on the level that we do, man.
Much love to Ben. And he got something crazy coming too.
Yeah, man, dude. We got something crazy coming for Ben. We got something crazy coming for Mike Norman too, man. Shout out to Mike Norman being patient.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. I'd like to, I would love to see you guys review some of this stuff too, man, because those are wild too. You'll see.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, if we get the chance, we will, man.
Thank you.
All right, brother. Well, you take care, and from us, thank you once again, and shout out to Chris I Am Toys, shout out to Paul Manzi, Rob Terrell, Anomaly 682. All the links are down below. Hit up 16 Horror, hit up One's Customs Official on IG, or One's Customs in general, or One's Customs Group. Definitely hop on some of the runs that they got coming out.
Getting that insiders group,
playing
man.
goodies. Once you get on the run, you pay for the run, you get put on this insiders group where you get to see things before it pops out on your
early
run.
access, possible discounts, extra goodies, and just you know, fucking like Dan said, early whip for stuff like that, you know.
So until
Not to mention the giveaways that are in the works.
Yes,
Right.
yes,
Right.
we
We're
got.
going to be giving away some major stuff as well, guys.
Yup.
So until next time, guys, I've been your host, Chris has been your host, and thank you so much, and conquer your own collection and stay safe. Peace.